Konnichiwa, viewers. Welcome to another episode of Kyoto by Night, The Second Breath. Tonight we return to the Botomuappu nightclub, where Akiba Zaibatsu is getting a few more things taken care of to strengthen their success with this entrepreneurship. So I shall turn it over to Pink Fox to see what they're up to.
Well, now that they've finished with the physical modifications to the club, as Yoshi, who is presently not available, had recommended that they do, in order to appease the Yang spirits, in order to make the entrance and exits a lot more readily apparent and available, and also to make everything quite all feng shui-like and groovy and all that. Pink Fox is probably at that time up in the manager's office with Akira. Mr. Tobita is probably elsewhere at this particular night because, well, this does concern him, but it's mostly just a private discourse between the two roommates.
Okay, so now that we've got that done, now I think we need to take the next step, which, as you recall, well, I hope you recall anyway.
Oh, I forgot to roll his nightmare flaw. Just a second. He will look absent-mindedly for a bit before he is totally good. Well, okay. So he looks at her and goes, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
And Pink Fox just gives him the look. Are you serious? Are you lying? Why are you lying?
No, I'm Tiger. And then he juggles and says, "Please refresh my memory. I've had some stuff on my mind."
Okay.
Stop that face, Jason.
We aim to please.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
What we're going to do now is we need a way to get a big boost of publicity in our respective industry to this club. And the way we do that is we get a guest appearance by a adult video idol of note.
He nods.
One of the best ones, I think, has to be this one called Ike Kurenai.
That doesn't. Being a young man, he just. No, that doesn't ring a bell at all. No, it doesn't. And he will roll manipulation subterfuge. And get one success. So he tries to pretend that he doesn't that name doesn't ring a bell, and he's actually quite successful at it.
My dice aren't showing up. I'll share on my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 successes.
He's totally lying. He knows the guy by name at least.
Girl. But yeah, so basically Pink Fox. Yeah, where is it? Here we go. Pink Fox just basically gives him this look.
Again.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on.
Yeah. So we need to contact her talent agency to, arrange for a meeting or a discussion or anything like that. And then we can negotiate fees and everything like that. Ideally, we'd like to meet her on the day, but because I don't know if she lives locally or she's from far away. But
Yeah.
What I imagine you as well have seen of her. She's actually really good.
Well, she's oh yeah, she's okay. And he does a little bit of a nervous twitch and trying to avoid eye contact and goes, yeah. Well, actually, no, he doesn't. He looks at her and says, well, yeah, she does. I guess. Anyway, um, awkwardness. Um, so I will contact her and or her agent at least. She's not
Her
likely to
agency.
ruin meals.
Yeah, I imagine that it probably wouldn't be too difficult to find the particular agency because, you know, it's all. I mean, not knowing the particular industry off the top of my head, I imagine it's going to be all contract work. So there would be kind of like, all the videos and other things.
Yeah.
Would probably be handled by the sole distributor.
Yeah.
Which probably would. No, it would be handled by the distributor, which I believe in Japan is like ADV Films, which also does like a lot of anime and things like that. Quite a lot of production things. It's actually quite very close knit, as I recall. But it's that'd probably be the first step, and then you need to then get in contact with the studio, perhaps. This is just off the top of my head. This is what I'm assuming anyway. It might not necessarily be the case, but
I have no idea, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I'm gonna say for our purposes, that's probably the sounds logical enough. So I would say, yeah, you, and especially with you already being somewhat tangentially related to the industry, you would have probably an easier time with getting those kind of contacts, making those kind of phone calls and whatnot. So we've got, so I guess basically what we're going to take a look at is what you're able to scrounge up for resources and how well you can negotiate on making arrangements.
Well, since can I assume that Akira's resources are back up to 4 after having been dropped by 2 in February?
They'd be yeah from February. Yeah, you've gotten yourself.
I'm pretty sure it was February
back.
when we started the club.
Well, and then plus 2 with you're gonna have like a little bit of kickback already from you guys owning the club. So
yeah.
If you ponied up more money, hopefully you made the contract so that you get a little bit more profit.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have some. I would say that we have we have substantial wealth to do this.
Yeah. We can always negotiate.
You can always negotiate. Okay. Then I would say then Mark will get you to do a WITS finance to, because I mean it's going to be the company's finances, not your personal ones, to be able to make this work, and then Pink Fox will do presumably the negotiating.
That works. Can I? I don't assume that I can use a willpower on this, can I?
Not for this one, no.
No, definitely. I just had to try, and I get 1 success as far as I can see.
Okay. And are you going to be trying to get like a face-to-face dinner conversation with the agents to arrange this, or is this going to be just over telephone calls and emails and stuff?
I think that the best impression. Oh, sorry, go on, Jason.
No, go ahead, man. I was assuming it was going to be directed. That question was going to be directed to me because I was going to do the negotiations. But yeah.
Okay, well, I was just gonna say the same, that it would be best to do it face to face, but it would be Pink who, and I assume it would be Pink who makes the contact as such, or at least meets for the negotiations. So it would make sense for Pink to make the decision.
Yeah, it probably would be best for a face-to-face conversation,
Yeah.
for a like evening meal or something like that.
Alrighty then. So that'd be either charisma or manipulation, and I guess depending on how you want to go about it, but you can go with either leadership or empathy. Just let me know which one that you're going to be rolling, because it's just how you're going about it will kind of affect, their impressions of you and whatnot.
I think we'll go with empathy because we have a specialty in emotions.
Okay.
Right, charisma, empathy, did you say?
Okay.
Alright, we'll... Actually, it's over the phone, so
Face to face will give you your whatever merits would provide bonuses for that as well then.
Alright, okay. Could I also potentially... I know this is kind of a bit fuckery and all that, but could I also use obligation to give myself extra dice?
You could.
Okay, we'll see how that goes. Actually, let me double check it. It was Soulbridge, that is manipulation plus empathy, so that is 7 dice for this. One load up. And you can't see my screen, but I do have 2 successes. I'll share it if you want.
Nope,
Right.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, that's an extra 2 dice.
Oh, there we go.
And rolling. That's 5 successes if emotions count for this.
It will, because you're using empathy, so you're...
Okay, so I've got a 6, an 8, and 8, and a 10, so that's 5 successes.
Okay. Alright. So, you have a really nice, pleasant conversation. And, I guess, so you tell me how you're going about with this conversation there as you're trying to play with his emotions.
Basically, she's just basically trying to get him, somewhat relaxed and, kind of like really, feeling that, make him feel make the person who we're meeting for this meeting, feel really good about, just basically feel like if he were to, what's the best way I can describe it? Basically, make him feel good about himself having come to that meeting, and basically make him feel that this is a really lovely person. This is someone who is a professional, and it's someone who I can be assured of that Miss Kura and I will be in good hands. If we lend them to them. It's someone who I can have a good business relationship in. Good business relationship with.
He is very much taken, swayed with your words, and is very, very flirtatious with you. The longer the conversation goes, the more he is getting a little less subtle with his preferred intention on making sure that you guys have a strong future and continue to work together.
Yes. I think Fox is not going to be... Well, she is going to be a lot more subtle about the flirts, but it's going to be more pun... I'm not quite sure if it's quite capable of the Japanese language, but most of her own little flirts, and I'll roll for this if you want, would be more pun-related. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Do Wits Enigmas if you want to try to be really, really subtle and punny with him.
Okay. Failure.
Yeah.
9 and a 1.
So now we're gonna get punished.
You had a lot of single entendres.
Yeah. Well, not knowing the Japanese language, it's yeah.
Hmm.
I was kind of hoping for a charisma subterfuge or something like that, but you know. But, yeah.
Time for
She-
punishment.
Yes, punishment. That time.
And she like stops every time and just kind of looks at him like, "Did you get it? Did you get it?" Exactly.
At least it was a punch.
Yeah, so how many, like, are you, so with your conversation with him, he's wondering, like, how many engagements are you wanting her for? Is this something that you want to have recurring? Is this just a once-off, or?
She's probably going to at first she's thinking this may just be a like a one-shot appearance. However, if the turnout for the guest appearance creates a significant draw, then which obviously will be in conjunction with a bit of advertising which they will be doing on their part. She kind of hopes that they would at least do a little sharing and liking and stuff in social media, which she hopes Miss Kurenai would also help with. As I said, if the turnout is significantly better than they're anticipating, they most definitely will want to create some more guest appearances, in the coming year, and if those are successful, in the years to come.
That is very agreeable. He's really excited at that idea. A lot of opportunities for you guys, and he's also has other performers as well. That if you want, if there's any special events or anything that you guys are doing, he's more than happy to negotiate opportunities as well.
Which Pink Fox will naturally agree may very well be on the agenda. Again, if this venture turns out to be a very mutually profitable endeavor.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be.
Right. I believe that's about all they need to discuss. Unless you want me to do anything else, Jacob.
No. If that covers everything that you need out of that, then yeah, that conversation is fade to the background and on with your other plans.
Yes. Yeah. Naturally, Pink Fox, bows. Thanks. Thank you for coming out. Here's my contact details. Once you've had a word with Miss Kurenai, and etc., etc., etc. Right. So, back to the woo, as it were. Yeah, obviously, Pink Fox will give the general gist of what the meeting went down, and what they can expect if things go really well.
Akira will listen carefully and nod in the appropriate places, and then he will just like say, well, did you discuss like what kind of compensation are we talking?
Well, obviously, we still do need to have another, meeting about that, or at least as far as we've probably narrowed it down to, the expected fee. But I think we could probably sweeten the deal if, we offer to, rent them a hotel room for the night, if they're traveling that far. If their food, pay for the pay for the transport. Just little things like that that can just
Make a
make
difference.
make a small difference.
Mhm. That works.
Okay. Aside from that, I think we're pretty much in the clear with this. So now we just got to, once we set down the date for the guest appearance, I think we can arrange for a particular very special show that day. And what I think we should do is also, make sure on the night before the show starts that Yoshi does his thing and make sure that he doesn't fuck it up.
Yeah, well, we can get Yoshi to do his thing, but as far as not fucking it up goes, I think
Well-
that's left a little bit more to chance than we would like to think.
Well,
The
it's not
the
so much
spirits are
chance
fickle.
well, spirits are fickle, but this pen here,
Mhm.
very pointed and sharp.
He grins.
And Yoshi has very big nostrils.
He laughs. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's a
Because,
here's a
the pen is mightier than the sword. And
yeah,
also,
good luck.
Yeah.
It also what, sorry?
I said the pen is mightier than the sword. And you can do a lot more creative things with it.
There's
grins.
a knock at the office door.
Said Damien doesn't do anything, but Akira. Damien, yeah, that's my vampire character, which I don't know.
Yes, who is currently on the other side of the world at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So that's he's nowhere near. But Akira, on the other hand, will look at the door curiously, like, I'm not expecting visitors, and then
Nor am I.
open the door.
Excuse me, sorry to trouble the two of you. There's a gentleman here who says that he's he's applying for a job. He's supposed to talk to one of you guys.
Akira looks at Pink. Is that
Yeah, I think I know who that is. Yeah, send him up. Send him
okay?
up.
Okay. So doorman goes, and then a couple moments later, looking not as creepy as normal, but Masaru does arrive, dressed normal, his wounds somewhat concealed by either clothing or looser skin.
And Pink Fox smiles as you see him, rushes over and gives him a hug.
How you doing? How you doing? Come on in. Come on in.
And she'll shut the door after him.
Yeah, I hadn't heard from you guys yet, but you were saying something about giving me a chance to kind of use this as a kickoff point.
Mm-hmm. This is the start of Goro Surumi.
Oh, okay. So what kind of work do you need me to do?
Well, security is, paramount. Because, although we, are relatively quiet, compared to some of the other clubs and other places in Kyoto, there's always going to be, the chance of, some unruly client or someone, trying to touch the girls, or getting too drunk, and we just basically need someone to keep watch over the club, and make sure that all the doors are locked. Well, all the doors that should be locked are locked, and everything like that.
Okay. And What do I like? Do I need a key for the place, or?
You'll be given, the keys that you do need, as well as like any like a general guideline of you know, what your duties are and everything like that. Um, so you're serious? You really trying to make a new person?
Oh God, yes. Get me out of the library.
Okay.
Tell the like, yeah. I gotta do something. I'm still not happy that we're not making any headway towards my sister, but at least I'm not I'm not a prisoner. I'm not cooped up somewhere. I can stretch my legs and make some money and do something.
Understand your purpose. Okay. Well, as long as you're in these walls, your name is Goro Surumi. And if anyone calls you anything differently, make sure you correct them.
Goro Surumi. All right.
Or Mr. Surumi. If you want to really intimidate people. Which, hopefully you won't have to do quite so much.
Yes, hopefully not too much.
Okay? Yeah. Aside from that,
Okay.
what is,
I
go ahead.
he kind of looks around for a bit. Mikado said not to worry about it, but Gakusha-san seemed to indicate, I think, because it's hard to tell what she says sometimes, or he says, whatever. I think he wanted me to ask if you had any rules about gathering chi while I'm working here.
Personally speaking, I kind of make it a habit not to feed on the clients.
It's bad for business, Akira says dryly.
Yeah, we kind of just want their money here. But, when you're off the premises, or, if you're off the premises, just make sure if you do have to feed off people, make sure it's no one who actually works here. Make sure you don't, kill anyone. Leave them in a state where it will kind of hurt the business.
Okay, so no coworkers, don't kill anyone, don't disrupt the business.
Yeah. We're all part of the cycle of natural harmony, even in the kind of problems that we have at the moment. And we all have to find our place.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess. Though, aren't I supposed to be finding lots of different places?
Well, the way I've interpreted your Dharma, the way that it was told to me anyway, is that you seek an answer with each life that you follow.
So with Goro, I have to find a question so that I can figure out what answer I'm looking for.
Yeah, I think so.
Makes my head hurt.
Yeah.
And still nothing on my sister. Is she still even in Kyoto? It feels like I can't picture her going elsewhere, but
Well, that's kind of the thing, isn't it? I mean, from what we've learned, what we've already told you, these broken mirrors, they change you. They change the way you behave. You know, the sister that you grew up with probably isn't the same sister that did what they did. It's, then again, same with us. I mean, do you really think that I was like how I am now when I was alive?
I'm told that people change, that dying, is like one of them traumatic experiences that people just kind of become different. I'm not who I was before my sister betrayed me and murdered me. Sure that whatever got you in this situation probably changed who you are too.
Mm. Which kind of also lies in the problem which, well, which Masaru has, and Goro Surumi will try to overcome. Did you see that DVD that I gave you? That we gave you?
Yeah, I watched that.
No, not Captain Ahab, but the one called Jacob's Ladder.
That was confusing. I don't know if either the subtitles were done incorrectly or because my English isn't that great. I don't know. It got really confusing at one point.
Yeah. It got confusing for me as well when I first saw it, but then I kind of rewatched it a few times, and I mean, actually I asked Masaru, sorry, not Masaru, Akira, you speak English, don't you?
Yes, he says fluently.
Yeah. Can you kind of explain what the whole purpose of the movie was, and
And he nods, and then he goes on to explain it because his player has not seen the movie in question, so he doesn't know.
I will describe it for you. Basically, Jacob Singer, the main character, he basically was in the Vietnam War, and he realizes, when he gets back, that he has completely changed because of it. He had a college degree, yet when he got back from the war, he decided to work in a post office, which doesn't even require. I mean, at the time, it doesn't require much. He just didn't feel he wasn't exercising himself to his truest potential because of his experiences in the war.
Yeah.
And then he starts to hallucinate. He starts seeing demons, and his girlfriend seems to want to get him to forget everything about his former life with his wife and his children. There's a lot of Christian, there's a lot of Christian imagery in there. Yeah, basically, his girlfriend, who was ironically named Jezebel.
Gee.
Yeah, I wonder where that came from. Yeah, she's basically the demonic influence in his life, and it becomes really evident midway through the movie when they're at a party and he sees Jezebel dancing with this other guy, and it looks like he's basically turning into a demon and doing dirty stuff with her, which basically causes him to become sicker. But then he starts like realizing that his friends are dying. You know, his friends from the war, and then they reveal that they've been seeing those demons as well.
Oh,
And this is
okay.
like interspersed with images of what happened in the Vietnam War. Basically, his unit was attacked, and he was basically bayoneted by someone who you don't realize until the end of the movie is an American soldier.
Okay.
And he realizes, basically he gets approached by the scientist that said, you know, I got recruited to conduct experiments with these drugs to make people more aggressive. You know, they worked it on monkeys. It worked really well, disgustingly well. So they used it on units, military units, and it worked. But they attacked their own, their own allies, which is why, Jacob Singer, realized he was bayoneted by a fellow U.S. Army soldier.
Soldier. Yeah.
And the only person who was a real help for him in this entire ordeal was his chiropractor. And there's a quote in it which, me personally, I think is a really beautiful quote. It's by this 13th century Christian mystic called Eckhart.
Yeah.
He basically said that the only thing that burns in hell is the part of you that won't let go of your life. Basically, how he theorized it: if you're scared of dying and you're holding on, you'll see demons trying to tear your life away.
Mm.
If, however, you've made your peace, the demons are really angels freeing you from the earth. And as it turns out, at the end of the movie, all the things back home were a hallucination caused by the drug. And Jacob Singer dies peacefully. And
Oh.
here's a bit of trivia about this movie.
Twist.
Yeah, here's a bit of trivia about this movie. Despite how grisly, like the scene in the hospital is absolutely horrific. It's horrible. It still gives me nightmares even now. Some 15 years after having watched the movie. It's a movie that gets a lot of good reviews from terminal cancer patients because it kind of presents a message that death is a natural process. Death and the healing, the moving on afterwards is a natural process.
Mm.
It's sad, but it basically allows them, from what people who have been suffering from these terminal diseases have experienced, it's allowed them to gain a kind of catharsis and move on, or at least be at peace with the idea that they are going to die. That they can, rest easy knowing that all the baggage that they have tying them to their life, really in the grand scheme of things, doesn't really all that matter all that much. Well, at least that's the way that it was described anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So all of that is what Akira explains.
Yeah, what you said. Yeah, no, for sure.
More or less, because I haven't seen the movie and I don't know.
Yeah,
all I'm gonna say is, watch the movie. It is really, really good.
Yeah.
Even though it's very primitive. You know that special effect where you have people's head going back and forth and all over places. That's a very primitive, like one of the earliest versions of that effect.
Okay.
Yeah, Masaru would kind of be like blinking a few times, trying to keep up with and then he'll be like, I'm gonna have to try watching that again.
Akira chuckles and says, "It is a movie worth watching a couple of times."
I guess.
There's probably people in America and other countries who watch a lot of the stuff that Hong Kong and Korea and Japan makes, and they think, yeah, it's kind of maybe I gotta watch this. Like the Vengeance trilogy from from Korea. You know, Old Boy, and Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, and Lady Vendetta, you know that one. You know, they're kind of. I mean, they're kind of weird, but you know.
Okay. All right. Well, when do you want me to? Sorry, when do you want Goro to start
I mean, when we
working?
want you to start.
Yes.
She gives you the look, not the Pingu look, but you know the look. Actually, yeah, why not the Pingu look? We've got to get this guy out again. Yeah. 20 minutes into Netflix and chill, and she gives you the look.
Well, as long as you know, we're gonna. I think you know we can sort out you know a uniform. Obviously, you know you're gonna need stuff to cover up the cuts and all that stuff. You can probably come up with your own story about them. But yeah, once that's sorted out, I think we can start working out some shifts. Do you think, Masaru? Akira.
I don't know why I'm doing
Akira
that.
nods. Akira nods. That sounds reasonable.
Okay. All right. I'll prep myself and check in. So, all right. Good.
Akira stands up and extends his hand. It's good to have you.
Shake your hand as well
Mhm.
for strong grip and pretty vigorous shake.
Pink Fox will, you know, take the hand as well. She'll do it with like both hands because you know she's that petite compared to him.
Yeah, I'll see the both of you later then, and he'll excuse himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, do you two have anything else you need to sort through this evening?
Not that I can remember.
No, I don't think we really have any. Well, we do have like one other thing to discuss, but yeah, we'll just do that. You know, between the two of us.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, then we will say sayonara to our viewers. Thank you for
Sayonara.
watching.
Peace.